As we teach sales, and I think what you're talking about is the suit salesman kind of concept.
Yeah.
And this really goes back to the way you shoot, the way you build product, and your goal. And I think it goes back really to the way people think. And that is that I think pastors teach 3 points.
Yeah.
Magazines know that they sell magazines when they give you a list of 5 things that will help you be healthier. 5 things that will do this, 3 things that do that.
Lists. Yeah.
People function well when there's a 1, 2, 3 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of step process.
Good, better, best.
And, yeah, exactly.
All that kind of thing.
And it's the way the mind works. And so the reason I say that, I think as a salesperson, if you will arm yourself this way, and I've even on the times that I've talked with photographers, and Bev, I think you too, as we've consulted, is to say, you can even start your sale saying there's 3 decisions you've got to make today. There's only 3 decisions you've got to
And
make.
that relieves the client.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
And we suggest this way: primary purchase, secondary, and gotta haves.
Right.
Your primary, your secondary, and your gotta haves. Your primary is why you came to the studio, why you came to Walden's. That's for that beautiful piece for your wall. For us, and it may be different for you guys. Maybe you sell mainly albums, and that was the primary, thing, was to have enough to put a beautiful book together. But whatever it is, there's a primary purchase. Now, in a suit salesman, that would be the suit.
Right.
And the suit salesman sells the suit first.
Right.
But the suit is you better not go out with just the pants and the coat on. You're gonna look kind of goofy, right? So you got to have socks and shoes and
shirt and tie and
yeah,
belt.
the whole bit, yeah. So the primary purchase for us as photographers is the suit, or the primary piece.
Right.
Now, once they've made that decision, we can look and say, okay, there's one of the 3. We only got 2 more to go. And so, and thinking about it back to that suit salesman. I believe that second thing might be the shirt and tie, or
to pull it all together.
So we got the perfect tie for that, kind of accents that pinstripe color, pulls it out, and with this particular suit, I'd use a pale blue, not a white shirt. So now you've got those secondary items, or shoes. Shoes that have a pretty good price, so maybe that would be secondary, and whatever it might be. But those are significant purchases that are still second to the primary. Right. So, as we deal with product that way, we'll say, now besides your wall portrait, you've made that decision. Here's your image showcase, right. 6 other images on an easel. That's beautiful. Whatever
or maybe
it might
a
be.
pairing of 2 smaller canvases that support the larger
right.
canvas, like
exactly.
much as your shirt and your tie would enhance the suit. These 2, maybe the larger wall portrait are the 2 kids together, beautifully
right.
done. And then there's individuals of the 2 kids. This is why you don't want a lot of variety too, because you want these to all flow. So you can suggest maybe 2 smaller wall portraits that would hang as a pairing that would enhance and support the one of the 2 of them together.
Absolutely. And then once they've validated your suggestion or made that secondary purchase, all that's left are the gotta haves. The gotta haves might be like the socks and the belt. That kind of fill that in, say bought the suit, then they got the shoes, shirt, and tie. Now they got socks and a belt. You don't want to wear those thick socks that you wear with your shorts and your khakis.
Or athletic socks.
Yeah, you
or
need a really
something.
nice dress sock with that, and we got to have a belt. The belt just kind of...
The belt has to match the shoes.
That's
so if
right.
the shoes you bought were black and you don't have a black
Yeah.
belt.
And so you've got an integrated plan. So those are your gotta-haves. And a good suit salesman knows that once that suit is sold, the peripherals become much easier because
Right.
they validate that original
You don't start with the
purpose.
little purchase and work up. You
Right.
start with the biggest and work down.
Absolutely. And then so now that they've purchased their secondaries, all we got are their gotta-haves. Those are where the kids made the silly faces that we're talking about, and the
Right.
fun ones, and
The tabletops for grandma,
yeah,
wallets,
all of that. The things you don't want to
little
leave
things.
behind.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and so even though in each of those there may be several images, like the secondary might be a grouping of 2 or 3 images, the gotta-haves might be 4 or 5 different choices. don't talk to them that way about it. Don't do that. Just say you only have 3 decisions. But what you're doing is you're putting them in a category, and then you're just knocking those categories out. So to their mind, they're over halfway there when they've done the first 2.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, how many different people do you want to buy 8 by 10s for? And 6 or 7 of them. Well, there's another 6 or 7 decisions. No, you're just picking the gotta haves at this point.
Right.
So think in those ways. Think about and when somebody is really uncomfortable in sales, I gave this suggestion to somebody the other day. I told them, I said, just go in and say you only have 3 decisions to make.
Yeah.
And I said, and then figure out where those categories are, and just like we said, and you make those 3.
Perfect.
So,
That's really good. This is good, solid information, because it'll really help you in the sales room to not frustrate and tire your customers out, because when they get tired, they just quit thinking. And when they
Right.
quit thinking, you hear the dreaded words, "Can I just go home and I'll get back with you later," or whatever it might be. And you know as well as I know that that sale is gone
Right.
at that point.